Are the Denver Nuggets in real trouble? And how should you be betting this Pacers-Knicks series? We've got the answer to those questions, plus some free MLB winners for you right now. Let's get right into it. Mark Zinno, do you believe champion Nuggets are in real trouble?
I mean, a lot of people are putting stock into the fact that a team that never loses at home, and the Denver Nuggets almost never loses at home, lost their first game since March at home, and there's cause for concern. I mean, they do lose games at home. It's not like it never happens. I'm not ready to push the panic button yet. I think for Denver, it's about them, starting fast and playing with a lead. And really what's been disconcerting for the Nuggets more than anything is sort of the defensive lapses that they've had, even in stretches against the Los Angeles Lakers in that series. I mean, like the big thing for me, I guess what I'm questioning here is, if we remember the Lakers series, they trailed at half at all 5 games. They had to come back and win all 4 out of the 5 games because they were trailing at halftime. Are we looking at this team going, maybe they're not as deep and as good as they were last year? And, we kind of thought they were toying with the Lakers a little bit, like they didn't really put their best effort in. Well, is this the wake-up call that they got in game 1 that they needed in order to give their best effort? I don't know. I mean, obviously, if they lose game 2, yes, they're going to be in trouble. The defending champions down 0-2, heading out on the road for a game 3 would not be a favorable situation for the Nuggets. But I don't know if they'll cover this big number here at 5.5, but them winning this game to me feels more probable than not.
Ironically enough, Mark, they were winning at the end of the first quarter, were winning at the end of the first half, and then the sort of situation reversed itself from that Lakers series you brought up. As they blow it, the T-Wolves look like the more clutch team down the stretch. Now, these slow starts you spoke of have not been lost on head coach Michael Malone. Quote, we have to do a better job, our starters in particular, have to do a better job of being ready to play and setting the tone early. What are we waiting for? I mean, now we're down 0-1. What are you waiting for? End quote from the head coach. For the record, Denver, you mentioned it, they did not win a single first half in that Lakers series. They're now 1-5 straight up ATS in first halves this postseason, 2-4 straight up in first quarters as well as ATS. They were down 18-4 to start game 1. They're not going to start in a hole that big. To me, if Denver covers this number, it's because they get out to a big start in this game. I think Malone's going to have them ready. Let's get into the Pacers-Knicks, though. I've got a series bet for you here, Zinno. Don't think I love this as much as T-Wolves in 6, which at plus 500 I gave out on Saturday on Last Call, also available here on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. But Knicks in 5 at plus 310 at DraftKings is how I'd look to play this one. Look, the Knicks have clear edges defensively and on the boards. I think Jalen Brunson, who averaged 35.7 points in the 3 regular season meetings, is going to have a massive series here. The Knicks, simply the better team in my view. This is not the banged up Bucks who Indiana was fortunate to face in round 1. And the reason I like Knicks in 5, I think that is the best value, is it's just more than likely that they close out the series at home. Calling for a series sweep, it seems ambitious. Game 6 would obviously be in Indiana. I would not fault anyone for taking the more conservative route and playing the series spread, Knicks minus 1.5 games, which means they'd have to finish it off in 6 games or less. That's minus 125 at DraftKings. But give me the fatter odds, Mark. Knicks in 5 plus 310. I think that's a nice bet if you got some couch change that you don't mind tying up for the series.
Yeah, what's interesting to me about this series, at least in game 1, is the total line at 217. Now, BP, if you go back to the 3 regular season meetings, 234.5 on February 10th, 235.5 on February 1st, and on December 30th, 248.5 in a game that they sailed over, 140 to 126. We have now dropped the total between 17 and 20 points in the postseason. Yeah. That is something worth noting. To see that drastic, a 3-touchdown drop-off in the spread to me is, well, we're not playing football, so I might want to take note of that. So, to me, this is styles make fights. The Pacers are the second fastest team in the NBA. The Knicks are the slowest team in the NBA. You'd have to feel like if this thing is trending towards going over, it favors the Pacers. If it's trended towards staying under, it favors the Knicks. I'll add in that the Pacers shot very well during the regular season matchups between these two teams, including a game where they shot 61% at Madison Square Garden, including 48% from three, and a game in Indiana where they shot 58% from the field and 53% from three. The only game that the Knicks won is when the Pacers shot just a lowly 45% from the field in that game. So it's going to take a big defensive effort here from the Knicks. I think a lot of people, and I'm a Knicks fan, I think a lot of people have sort of already, like you, pushed the Knicks into the Eastern Conference Finals. If being a Knicks fan has taught me anything, it's never that easy. It's never that easy. So it hasn't been that easy since the early 90s. And even at that, they were still trying to beat Jordan, and then they were still trying to beat the Heat, and then they were still trying to beat themselves. Anyway, I don't know. But I just, I'm cautious as a Knicks fan, but I know that this matchup, can be one where I think the style will make the fight. As I said, the Knicks will either dominate with their style or the Pacers may dominate with theirs.
Yeah. Speaking of the 90s, bet the over on number of Reggie Miller references during the telecast. That is the lock of the century.
Yeah.
Just a quick thank you to everyone checking us out here today on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. Let us know down in the comments section below which team you think will win this Pacers-Knicks series and in how many games. We always love to hear from you. Stay tuned for our show Best Bet coming up in just a minute. We're hitting 60% with those over the first 2 weeks of doing the show together, Mark and I. But let's get into some MLB right now. And I'm looking to play against the Twins on Monday now that this win streak has been snapped. In case you missed it, said win streak that ended at 12 yesterday with the loss at home to the Red Sox. Now the Mariners are coming into Minnesota, and I like the road team in tonight's series opener. Seattle, they've won 6 straight series pretty quietly. You're not hearing a ton about the Mariners, I think, nationally. And how about this? Before yesterday, their starters had allowed 2 earned runs or less in 21 consecutive games. Tonight, Luis Castillo on the mound. Guess what he's done over his last 3 starts, gang? 3-0. 0.90 ERA, 0.65 whip. That's all pretty good. And I know the Twins have been hot, but as many people have noted, more than half those wins came against the White Sox. This team started the year 13-20. Mariners is my half of Monday's double play. Mark, what do you got cooking here on Monday on the Diamond?
I'm going to go out west and take the most popular team in the state of California, the Oakland Athletics. I kid. But, this is an Oakland A's team, and this is crazy to think. And I just want to put this out there as sort of a contextual background for how bad people thought the Oakland A's were going to be. Their season win total was 56.5. They have 17 wins already on the season. Okay? So, BP, in theory, all they have to do is win like 8 or 9 games every month for the rest of the season to go over that number. Like in baseball, you could sleepwalk to 8 or 9 wins every single month. Like that's how much the Oakland A's were expected to be so bad, and they're not. What is bad is Andrew Heaney, the starter for the Texas Rangers. He's 0-4 on the year. He's got a 5.10 ERA. He has just not been good. And for a guy last year who received phenomenal run support, near 7 runs a game. This year, he's getting just 2.5 runs per game. The Rangers have lost all 6 of the starts that he has made. With that in our back pocket, we're a little bit more juice tolerant here in this scenario. We'll take the 1.5 on the run line with the Oakland A's at around a -140, -145 price here. So we'll take the best bet in Major League Baseball, +1.5 for the Oakland A's for my part of the double play.
He likes the A's on the run line. I like the Mariners on the money line. Before we get to today's best bet, just want to let all of you fine viewers know what I've got going on right now at WagerTalk.com. It was another NBA winner with Orlando under its team total yesterday. Never in doubt, Zinno. Had that one the whole way. 4 straight NBA playoff winners for me, 15-5 run, and over the last 30 days, I am now number 1 in the NBA at WagerTalk, hitting 74% with all NBA selections. I have a 4% best bet available for tonight right now, WT.buzz/BP. And oh, by the way, I'm on a 21-10-1 all sports run over the last 9 days. So seeing it well and looking forward to continuing that on Monday. What do you have for the people, Mark?
Well, BP, like you, I am similarly scorching hot in the NBA. 65% over my last 35 plays dating back to the beginning of April. We are on a heater of 5 in a row. We're 11-4 in our last 15. We're up in the neighborhood of, 17 units since the beginning of April in the NBA. So we have been equally as hot. I will have a 4% NBA best bet as well. And we are going to come back in Major League Baseball with another 4% play as well tonight, one that I am super confident in. So those will both be up on the site right after the show is over. Make sure you guys go to wt.buzz/MZ.
What you have been waiting for, Major League Baseball, Milwaukee and Kansas City, a really interesting series here to start the week, Mark. The two of the real surprise teams in both of baseball. Interleague matchup, obviously. Cole Reagan's on the mound for the Royals, and we're attacking this one in the prop market. We like Reagan's to have a strong start, so why don't you tell the people how to play this game?
Cole Reagan's over 17 and a half outs, which means he has to last 6 innings. Well, Cole Reagan's has lasted 6 innings so far in 2 of his 5 starts. However, one start where he only went 5 innings, it was a 2-1 range-shortened game that only lasted 5 innings, where he had thrown 75 pitches through 5 and certainly would have come out at home to start the 6th, giving up only 1 run and 3 hits. We expect him to get there again. The first other start where he only lasted 5 innings was the first start of the year. Understandable. Nobody's really going all that deep in games. So Cole Reagan's is going up against a Milwaukee team that is top 10 in K rate against left-handed pitchers on the year. They're also bottom 5 in batting average against left-handed pitching. Cole Reagan should have a very quality start here. He'll go at least 6 tonight. So we're going to take Cole Reagan's over 17 and a half outs for our show best bet.
Let us know what you think down in the comments section below of that best bet. Drop your favorite baseball bets here on a Monday. And if you agree with our best bet or you just like what you heard in general, we hope that you do, feel free. Smash that like button. Give this show the old thumbs up. Lastly, if you already haven't done so, of course, it's a great idea to subscribe to the WagerTalk YouTube channel. That way you don't miss any of our exclusive sports betting content, including the Morning Wager with Mark and I, where we continue to dole out free winners in both the NBA and Major League Baseball every single day for you, Monday through Friday. You heard the man. We're both scorching hot in the NBA playoffs. As of now, you'll see us tied number 1 over the last 3 days. It's always nice to see you, buddy. Right there next to me on the leaderboard at WagerTalk.com.
Nobody I'd rather share the spotlight with than Bryan Power.
And especially go Knicks in 5 games in the series. That'd be a nice plus 310 ticket, as we talked about earlier. He's Mark Zinno. I'm Bryan Power. This was the Morning Wager. Until next time, let's cash some tickets.